Zendara taking command of the Immortals. Will it have your support at the Northern Court?
She was instrumental in getting so many of us from the Palathon here to Glavegate. She protected us from Ashan against all hope. What do you think, Jack?
I think Lavenry might see a chance to influence the Immortals in ways they couldn't when Kirkin was around.
I won't let them find some loophole in Lucium's treaties with Kalthus. As weakened as this kingdom is, I owe it and its leader my life.
Thank you, Ambassador. I'm just...
Wary of those in power not seeing things clearly. I wonder why. But don't worry. The king is a good man, when I remind him to be.
I have... Lordship.
Jack?
I've heard that assassins and the Order of the Oathsworn don't really get along in Kalthus.
X-Brands are a quintessentially Lucian institution. I can't blame the Kalthusians, really. Every murder is an oath-breaking of some kind. The premise of our existence doesn't align well with their traditions.
Did that ever come up with Zendara?
No. But then she's considered a progressive here. Ah, you're referring to her inconsiderate and woeful attitudes towards the unforeseen.
Just a smidgen.
Then let me amend. Zendara's nothing if not a pragmatist. She has no problem with the utility of sanctions.
Talk to you later, Hauser. Silas.
Hello, sir.
They don't bite, you know. The Allori?
They most certainly do, sir. And if they can smell my bloodline as well as they can your magic, I'm not long for this world.
What are you talking about?
It's not something I'm proud of, sir, especially in light of recent revelations. My family can trace its lineage all the way back to the Arjamon tribes of the Enduolo. They were famous Allori standard bearers.
I promise you, Silas, that your ancestors were not Allori.
That's not what I meant, sir. In those days, the Magni would have some of their most honored lightless carry standards and banners made of Allori. Well, I think you can guess, sir. They thought it would absorb the magic of their enemies in battle.
That's one of the worst things I have ever heard. Ever.
It was thousands of years ago, sir, but blood travels fine. It's not just the Magni that have to make amends. We lightless have our great share of it, too.
I better...
Happy you could finally join us. Your Allori friends were a no-show.
They'll be here.
I'm done waiting. Air Commanders, prepare to join the Rasharnian assault.
Sir, you can't do this. The Pentasod isn't causing the Maladar. It's suffering from it. Sandrak and the Binding Stone
You think I don't know all of this? He's insane. He literally believes the Pentasod went berserk because it's jealous.
Then why are you joining him?
The fonts are gone. The Pentasod that made them is broken, unanchored, imploding, and all of Aveum is crumbling apart as it lashes out. Nothing else matters. Lucium isn't joining Sandrak's mad crusade, Jack. We're using it so we can cauterize the wound at the source.
What a crock of shit. Sorry for crashing in. Magni got a real blind spot for Allori. The kid says you need our help. And from what I've heard of your plan, he's right by a mile.
And just what help could you possibly give us?
Look, lady, I ain't happy to be here either. We've had a bone to pick with your people for, I don't know, a few thousand years?
We have a lot to make up for. This is how it's supposed to be. Whatever magic the Magni take from the ley lines, the Allori funnel back to where it came from. No corruption, no wound.
Yeah, well, what he's showing us squares with my research. This whole mess started once the Allori were banished.
You know what you're doing is impossible. I'm right next to you.
The Pentasod is helping. We're tight.
Tell me, Jack, did you bring any other visions of perfect harmony that you saw in the Shrouded Realm that are actually relevant to the battle at hand?
The Allori can heal the wound? We can start over?
It won't happen immediately. We've corrupted so much. But it won't happen at all if we do what you're asking.
Selko, get him out of here. Zendara, get your airships ready for transport and—
No.
I did not just hear that.
Selko, relieve the Grand Magnus of command.
Bullshit like this is why I live in a cave.
Lucium surrendered to Sandrak a month ago. Calthus is still free. That makes me the ranking officer of the Immortals by ancient treaty. Look it up.
You're making a mistake you can't undo.
Take it up with Lavenry. If you help us, all the territories west of the Orenthals are yours. It's not much, but you'll have a sky. We can work out the rest from there.
You're in no position to make such an offer.
By law, we're a renegade army. She's the queen of Kelthus. Damn well do whatever she wants here.
We were gonna help regardless, but sure, we'll take bonus freedom.
Signal the commanders that there's been a change of plans.
Please, sir. You can still help us.
You're heading into disaster, Jack. The world ends because of what you chose today.
Just give the word, Initiate.
Captain, I really appreciate the support. I know you and Kirkin go way back, so it couldn't have been easy for you. I get that, but still, just saying.
Permission to speak freely, sir.
Say what's on your mind.
It was a whole month, sir. Sandrak's hold on magic. The Magni outside of the Order of Masks had lost their power, and none of them knew if it would ever come back. It broke some of them. It affected all of them.
What are you saying?
Kirkin was wrong, but I can't help wondering if her response to the present crisis wouldn't have been so severe if the Magni hadn't felt so helpless before. Hadn't felt so afraid.
You've got a big heart, Soko. More than most Magni deserve. I'm glad you're with us. Thaddeus, thanks for the backup.
Everywhere you go, you cause a ruckus. I've never seen Kirkin that angry, kid, and I've seen Kirkin angry. If the Allori weren't here, that could have gone a whole nother way. Backing down from a fight ain't something comes natural to her.
Deep down, Kirkin knows that killing the Pentasod isn't the answer. She'll be there.
Kid, I watched her walk away stage left. She ain't gonna be anywhere near what we're doing. Hate to say it, you're gonna have to come to terms with the very real possibility that she's written you off for life. Assuming we survive.
So, hey, I got this weird favor to ask.
Speak up! What weird favor?
Was that necessary? Look, my friend Luna.
Gel that gut shot me? Yeah, she's a favorite.
That one, yeah. I wanted to talk to her, but I don't know where she is. And I don't know how to do this, this mind thing where I could find out.
Uh-huh.
So I was thinking maybe, since we three share the whole thing between us, you could help me track her down somehow.
How? You and I combine our thinking real hard?
It's not gonna work if you make it sound stupid.
Jack?
Holy shit, we did.
Why does everything smell like honeysuckle and eggs?
Hey now.
Oh, great.
Whatever you want to say, Jack, you better say it now. I can't maintain this tomfuckery for long.
Luna.
What's he talking about?
Them eggs was fresh.
You're supposed to leave me out of this, Jack. I quit this fight. What are you about to do, Jack?
Are you shitting me?
Sorry, kid. That's harder than it looks. She's gone.
All right. Save your strength. We gotta go. You actually came. I'm kind of speechless. Oh, come on. No one tells you to do anything. You can say it.
Say what?
Haircut made a good point, see? And so I'm sitting at a crossroads of conscience, see?
You know what I don't smell on you? A proper fear of me.
Should I be getting worried?
Oh, you're definitely worried around me. Heebie-jeebies all over you like lice whenever I'm close. But no fear. Magni see a Lori, that's the first thing that pops up, historically. They scream, freak out, run away, then make up stories about how horrible we are. Sure, clam up and make it weird.
What's it like, being able to see, divergent time streams?
More often than not, we really don't know if they're divergent until we get there. Sometimes enough context clues reveal that we're looking at a future that belongs elsewhere.
Like, say if I'm an Ormic sky sailor, and everyone's acting like I've always been one.
Exactly. Some are fun like that. Divergent pasts, though, they are invariably disturbing to experience.
You can see alternate pasts? How does that even work?
The wound is how. It can actually swallow up bits of history if they're not careful.
Hold up a sec. Sandrak mentioned this. I thought he was just trying to fuck with my head.
Afraid not. And sometimes the wound even regurgitates those out. Little bits of the half-eaten past. Afterwards, history has to re-knit itself as best it can. It obviously can't get all the details right, as unwhole as it's become, and anachronisms seep in and never happen. You'll go half mad if you look at that for too long.
Good chat, Orphe. Magister? If you don't mind me asking, what was it like for you when your magic went away?
The worst of it was when we hid behind the walls here. I could feel my spells like they were phantom limbs, itching in my mind if I didn't think about them, bringing a headache if I did. Those ghostly shackles were hell. Some of the other Magni swore they smelled a waxy smoke that wouldn't go away until the shackles did.
What, like a candle?
When blown out, yes, exactly that. My life's work has been devoted to the spreading of magic for the privileged few. I wish I had done more for the lightless, now having been one, even if just for that small amount of time.
All right, Belming. I should go.
So sensation! That's her!
that was a whole thing.
That's an understatement.
Are you doing okay about Kirkin?
Of course I'm not. But what's done is done.
So do I call you Grand Magnus now, or what?
Do you ever give things time to process, Initiate?
So you're saying we should table it and go?
I am. Are you ready?
Yeah,
Do what you... We doing?
yeah.
Air commanders have their final orders, sir. We're ready to embark and engage over the wound.
Keep our scrying officers silent until I give the signal. Sandrak still thinks we're coming to help.
They won't know what hit them.
Just need to get close enough to drop us on Sandrak's flagship.
My boys will break away and try to dampen whatever Sandrak's spells have got its hooks in the Penasod, pulling it through.
Good a plan as any, except, well... our airships are powered by magic. How are we supposed to transport the Alluri?
You ain't. Fellas, time to gussy up.
All my born days I wanted to see that.
We can really do this.
Good hunting, people.
They've destroyed us!
Falco, peel off and hit their flanks! Open a path for the Alluri!
Copy that!
The rest of you, we're going straight up the gun. Woohoo! Did he really just yell wahoo?
I was feeling it.
Sir! Roshanian airship bearing for the Alluri! We can't stop it!
You have to, Captain. We can't do this without them.
Strip it!
Oh! Never mind, sir.
Holy shit.
Not bad. This is all on you now, Initiate.
No. Last time it was just up to me. I made the biggest mistake of my life. We're only going to win this one together. Sigil up.
initiate! Jack! Get down!
Oh, shit.
I was in there!
getting close to Sandrak. Should I wait for you?
There's no time. Go!
Jack, Kirkin betrays me with a doomed assault with you at the head.
No. She was still all in on your plans, but my friends and I had a different idea.
Oh, you turned against her. Wonderful. I've had a good influence on you.
They're the key, Sandrak. If you really want to heal the wound, you're going to let them finish. You know I'm right.
I admit, your army of gargoyles is something I didn't see coming. Children of the Pentasad, are they not? Cruel of you to bring them just to see it die. You must want to build yourself a little family of orphans again. After all you have seen, you still insist on prolonging the world's suffering. DJ! That's a miss! That's a miss! Should I fall, Aveum will follow. You disgust me, malevolent spirit. I will erase your names from all memory. After all you have seen, you still insist on prolonging the world's suffering. Vijay! There's no grace in your magic, no skill. I will not meet my end like this! You cannot touch me! Can you you hear it, Jack? In all of its varied hues of panic, the realization that even immortality is fear.
Sup?
Sup?
The traitor returned at last. You dishonor everything I gave you, sister. That Rasharn gave you.
You're so full of shit. You sold our people a dream you abandoned the moment I handed you the power to fulfill it.
You don't always have to wait until I'm on the ropes to swoop in, you know?
Don't. You're just always on the ropes.
Do you know how many Lucians she's killed, Jack? And you, sister? How many of your countrymen have died at his hand? You fight like a soldier in the dirt, not a knight. Such a miss. DJ! Both of you betray your masters for what? A chance of power? And then which of you will betray the other if I fall?
Get behind my shield!
Rather cull, I resist. With my own will, I resist. I am warded against your power, creature.
Get behind my shield!
A miss. Saren must breed Oathbreakers and Halflings. I should have leveled it.
Get behind me!
Durfin knew that joining me was the only.
Nishas Yuchiba. Zichi.
Enough! You mistake me for someone that has limits. I am the very wellspring of magic. The very...
Remember that time we pulled one over on the Upbridge gang?
I guess.
I'm saying literally remember the time we pulled one over on the Upbridge gang.
Enough! No! It's finally time to end your suffering. What?
This is for Devin. Lalathon. And Saren. And fuck, man. Oh.
Don't forget the Maladar.
Right. And for the Maladar.
No, dummy. Literally, don't forget the Maladar.
It'll work.
Damn, kid! Work says it's a bust. Too much corruption's pouring out of it too fast. Their absorption powers can't slow it down, much less cork it.
Then what are we going to do? The wound's still growing.
I'm thinking.
Think faster. Rashanian Armada, this is the hand. Sandrak is dead and his madness is over. Stand down and disperse on my command.
You've already figured out the solution, Jack. We win. Then we start thinking about how to fix the wound.
Isn't there something else that we can do about it, I mean?
Of course. She never told you that immortals are charged with sacrificing themselves to heal the wound at the end of their tenure.
Before you ask, yeah, it works.
What?
The mandate, the healing ritual, one that splits you from your magic, from your soul. It works. I never would have left the Immortals if it didn't. That's too much of a person.
Would it work on something this big? If I...
Jumped in, exploded yourself right next to the binding stone, flooded all the fonts back into the shrouded realm? Yeah, could do. There's a hair of a mite. You won't survive, though. Good news? That bunny in your eyes is gone. And resolve is a powerful thing.
You're the worst possible person to actually understand goodbyes.
I'll tell her.
Well, okay. You don't have time to teach me the ritual, so...
Just stick it in your head on the way down. No. Listen, kid. If you're gonna jump, just jump already.
Jack?
It'll be okay, Luna.
Jack! What did he do?
He fixed it. Never doubted him for a second.
So, now that the wound's been unfucked for the moment...
The rest is up to us. Magni orders are gonna have to rewrite their entire magical playbooks, and include the Allori in them.
West of the Orenthals, huh? That's a right nice stretch of green. Pretty hills, dark groves. Rook'll love groves. They're all gardeners at heart, really.
They deserve more.
Yeah, well, what you started here, it's going to spread.
Lucium will follow our example.
Yeah, sure it will.
Word from Lavenry.
Speak of the devil.
Short version. The king and the dynastic families give their unending thanks.
That's it?
The language used was lovely, yet economical.
No, I mean, did Kirkin...
No word from her at all, sir. The king will recognize your claim as the head of your order, if you ask for it.
She'll come around.
No, she won't.
Likely not. She never did with me. You and Jack had the right of it, in a way I never did.
Woke up right in time for the compliments. Keep them coming.
There he is.
You look good for someone that exploded.
I got better.
Paid having the Pentasod owe you a favor. spit you back out the Shrouded Realm good as new. Your legs still seem a bit pudding-foot, though.
Your, friend left when she saw you were on the mend. She said she wasn't sure where she was gonna go.
Yeah, that tracks. So what's next?
Well, plenty of Sandrak loyalists are still out there, running amok and causing trouble, refusing to believe he's really dead. You got any loose ends, kid? Wouldn't expect to tie him up in peace.
And what about the Immortals?
Rasharn's withdrawing back to the front. We'll take advantage of that time and try to rebuild.
And, under your leadership?
I take it you have an opinion on that.
I mean, yeah. I think it should be you.
I see. I was thinking the same thing.
You were? Oh, that's great. Totally should be you, for sure.
Totally.
Awesome, yeah. Shouldn't be me at all, right?
Oh, hell no.
Okay, well that's a little rude.
I mean, that would be the worst thing.
Yeah,
that could
no. Yeah,
literally
no way,
can't think
right?
of anything
But like,
worse.
why not though?
How?
Like, you haven't even
Than
thought
you
about it?
Being the leader. I mean,
We could.
it's funny though. Listen, it's funny. It's
You know,
funny
we've been through a lot.
I'd love to see it. Well, I don't. You know, maybe we should try.
A trial.
Just for.
Well, what is that?
Just for shits and giggles.
I think I've proven myself more than once. I healed the wound.
Hello.
The Elori have land in Calthus now. They have rights. For them to get the same in Lucium, that's going to be a hard sell to the king.
It's a hard sell to me, and I was here. Deposing Kirkin is one thing. Undoing generations of hate, fear, and mistrust is... You mustn't be naive at this juncture, Jack. The days after victory tend to bend back towards a life that most people want exactly the same as it was before.
You know we can't heal the wound without them.
I believe you. I just want you to realize that happy endings, they end one day. Hello.
I have to. Your lordship, we've got a long.
Lucy, it's
Adam. Talk. Silent. So, for
Or
what?
and when
Don't. I'd better. When I'm
8 or
good. Are
We'd
you
like-
sure? Majesty
Friend!
headed back. That. All right.